Good morning, it's Yvonne here to do your What's Cracking reading. I'm going to tape again direct to my iPad. I did one of these yesterday and one direct to YouTube, and I did get better feedback when I went straight to the iPad, which fascinates me really because I have worked so hard to get the volume right by microphones, etc., but my iPad still tapes better than YouTube. Firstly, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. You know how much I appreciate and love you all for doing that. It's been a tremendous journey and I've loved every step of the way. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can book via my website www.theaussiegoddess.com. I'm pretty sure I've still got some time left this week, later in the week, if you're interested. Otherwise, appointments I think will start probably next week. If you can't find an appointment that works with you, or you can't find exactly what you're looking for, I am happy for you to email me. But don't email me without checking first, because you have the control over that, what time and what type of reading, etc. But certainly if you're outside of working hours or you're having trouble working out the website, I'm more than happy to help you out. I am going to be live on YouTube tomorrow. I'm going to come back in the morning, so I will definitely be live tomorrow for those of you who've been waiting to catch up with me. So I'll be on at 12 o'clock tomorrow, but I'll only be on for an hour. So I'll be on till 1 o'clock, and then I have other things to do. I've got a very busy sort of schedule at the moment because I'm doing things outside of the spiritual work at this time, the more practical, logical management leadership stuff that I was doing before. So I'm sort of a little bit less available at the moment. Obviously life gets in the way. There won't be any star sign readings this week because of that. I will be traveling tomorrow, so there'll be no readings tomorrow. I'll be back on Thursday with the dailies and Friday with the dailies, and then hopefully somewhat back to normal next week for at least a week. All right. One has to do what one has to do, right? We are looking at the Muse Tarot here, so I do have it upside down. All right, we have the Ace of Swords coming out. There it is right there. I have to say that this week doing readings, and probably towards the latter part of last week, I had a lot of people who are going through awakenings of some kind at the moment. I feel like a lot of people have already got to a point where they've awakened to the greater purpose, to the collective. But this is deeper awakenings that people are going through at the moment, and we've all been doing it. A lot of stuff from the past is being raised for us, a lot of stuff around our own childhoods, our own issues, our own, especially body issues are coming up a lot. How we look, the physical part of ourselves, and understanding how, it's so important to work on the interior of you to reflect on the exterior. But, I feel that all of us go through some energy of not really understanding our own beauty. And if we feel ugly on the inside, that's always going to make us feel ugly on the outside. There's no other better way of putting it. And I feel with this Ace of Swords, this is what's really coming through at the moment, is this need to be really honest with yourself, really needing to be upfront about what you want and what you don't want, and being true to who you are. Because the Ace of Swords talks of clarity, direction, and moving in a way that is clear to you. You know where you're going, you know how you're going to do it. So many of us, especially empaths, get trapped in so many other things and then end up with a wealth of other problems and issues because we haven't put ourselves first. So I feel like this is really coming through in the personal readings this week, and it's also coming through from spirit, even for me. So I can really imagine that so many people going through this at the moment. We're all collective energy. So just be kind to yourself. Be kind. You're making changes here. The Page of Swords is coming through here. So I feel like here, wow, oh boy. Okay, see big changes coming through. So I know you're all feeling it. The Page of Swords makes me feel here that you are either researching, digging deeper, or trying to understand how to wield that sword. So what this feels like to me is you've been given an opportunity, insight, or some way of seeing something that perhaps you haven't seen it before in this particular way. For a lot of you dealing with abandonment, attachment issues, rejections, some of those deeper childhood wounds, these are really being brought to the surface now. And I'd be interested for the people who join me on this channel that have a really good understanding of what's happening in the universe astrologically, because I feel like something really big is going down. I feel that there are so many people that are trying to escape this and get into the entitlement sort of attitude and trying to run from this transformation, whereas others are going deep, digging deeper, finding out more about themselves and healing from a deeper level. And you can see the split in the universe at the moment. So the sword is being given to you here, and I feel like here, this feels like to me you might be looking things up, trying to understand things, trying to see where you're going, but really trying to gain or glean a really good understanding of how to heal yourself. Now, what we have to understand with healing, it isn't something you just do for a week. It's not like taking a course where you can just put in some effort, you know, the end of the week you're healed. It's not like a physical wound. So the healing we do on the inside, I feel, is going to probably be lifelong. It may take on different forms and shapes, because whenever you sort of feel that you've healed, there seems to be another layer to work through. So I'm not really sure you're going to completely heal yourself, and that's okay. You know, if you've got issues that have held you back, and you heal them to a certain point, then already you've done yourself an incredible, beautiful thing. So if you don't get all the way, that's fine too. But it's about accepting yourself and accepting that. So for me, the Page of Swords may be taking on courses, maybe looking deeper at things, because we have this beautiful Ace of Wands or Ace of Inspiration coming through. So what I see here really strongly is this energy of being empowered by your own passion. And the passion that you're feeling here is probably buried underneath those wounds or those darknesses that you've put on top so that you could forget the pain. So when we've been through a lot of stuff in our lives, whether that is relationships, as I said, childhood wounding, or wounding that's happened to you along the way, to avoid the pain of it, you bury it deep inside yourself. You don't want to deal with the pain. You don't want to deal with the anger. You don't want to deal with the regret or the remorse. So you bury it. And it stays dormant until something comes along to help you raise it, to work on it. And I feel that's where we are at the moment. But I see you moving forward with passion. We have the Five of Cups sitting behind that. So I feel like somehow or another you're leaving the past behind. You're not paying any attention to it anymore. And there you are, coming into the beautiful energy of Temperance. So what you're in fact doing is you're healing those parts of yourself that you've kept hidden. I feel like for many people at the moment, the shadow side is coming to the surface. For me, a lot of the readings have been about personal transformation, dealing with past hurts and pains, looking back at past lives. A lot of people wanting the energy of looking back at past lives, looking deeper within yourself, but not just for the sake of doing that. It's because you know inherently there's something that's maybe holding you back from manifestation, holding you back from finding the love you're after. But whatever it is, you're recognizing it now. And many of you are starting to pull that to the surface to work on it. Would be great if there was like a medicine for this or a quick answer. You know, I see sometimes, you know, people sort of advertising, you know, quick changes to yourself, you know, spell work and things like that. But I feel, you know, you could try those, but I feel in the long run, you're going to get so much more out of really understanding why it's happened, or why you've held on to this stuff, or why it makes you feel safe or comfortable, rather than trying to heal quickly. I'm trying to think, because I always come up with a story for this one, and I'm trying to think what that really means. Spirit often shows me something in my memory that will help you understand what I'm talking about here. But I guess it's like getting the answers to an exam. You know, it's great that you go into the exam and you can give someone the answer to, because you've cheated and you've got the answer in your hand. You think, well, there it is, right. But if somebody says to you, you know, show me how you work that out. If you can't show anybody how you work that out, where's the satisfaction in getting to the end result? And really, you're only cheating yourself by doing that. So I feel like a lot of us understanding and wanting to really glean what's going on here. All right, so we have the Justice card. So this is what it's all about. This is why people want to look into their past lives, why they want to look into their own upbringings, their childhood, their belief system, their religion, their culture. People wanting to do this at the moment to really understand what has brought them to where they are today. And I love this particular one because, and obviously this is why I've picked this deck. If you have a look at the picture here, it is so indicative of what I'm talking about. There is a face that you've been showing to the world, and it's not a bad thing. It's the face that you know. It's the face you look at every day in the mirror. It's the face that you've worked with to bring yourself through to where you are now. But the question is this your truth? Because what's coming through here is your truth. This is so important to understand. And I feel like this card just beautifully says it here. Many of us have buried our true selves through shame, guilt, whatever it is. Many of us have buried that true part of ourselves. And although we change and we try on the inside, the outside is where it reflects. You know, your outer beauty is created by your inner beauty. But if you focus too much on your outer beauty, then you may find it very difficult to find those things within you that you have that are so incredibly beautiful and magnificent for the world to see, because you feel you can't show that to the world. And this is what's being revealed to you all at the moment. Now let me show you something, because I did work out yesterday how to get the cards on the screen. So now you're going to see my belly, which isn't great, is it? My stomach. Okay, let's just see if I can get them out for you. Probably about as far as it will go. All right. Do I take it to... Okay, so we have the Justice card being followed by the 8 of Cups. And this is exactly what you're doing at the moment. So you're walking away from this past version of you, this karmic energy that you're opening up to. You're releasing all this past stuff here to rebirth yourself here. And the 8 of Cups tells me that you'll be leaving a lot of stuff behind here. I love this card because it really does show that energy of the moon. The moon's dark here. So it's like you're walking into brightness, walking into the light. And I feel that's really beautiful. All right, so we have here the 8 of Swords, which makes sense. A lot of you letting go of victim mentality. Some of those things I've been talking about, you're leaving behind. And there's the Devil energy. Well, I couldn't have said it better myself. So for some of you, this is releasing some of these fears and dependencies that you've relied on to keep yourself hidden from the world as part of your own karma. So it's like unwrapping a gift, really, isn't it? The gift that you know you had, but you weren't ready to sort of unleash on the world. But the Devil card tells me you're ready to release this. You're ready to release these bonds, these ties, these chains that have held you back. And you're ready to face the world in your truth. Now, you may change nothing about yourself here if you feel comfortable about the inside. You may change nothing, but what you do is you accept who you are here. Now, I feel strongly that every one of us has insecurities that we see on the outside, but none of us have built those insecurities ourselves. None of us have given ourselves those. They've been given to us by other people because other people didn't like them. So, you know, and I talk about this a lot. These limiting beliefs you have been installed by other people in your memory banks. Probably when you were quite young and vulnerable and took on things that people said, but you're ready to release them here. So that may mean changing nothing. You might be ready to just completely and utterly accept yourself as you are. All right, so we have the Page of Pentacles coming through with the 7 of Swords. Look at that. No more self-sabotage. And look at this again. Oh, no wonder I picked this deck this morning. It's such a beautiful deck. But just have a look at the images again. So this is your shadow side here showing up in this on the 7 of Swords. Now, we don't always embrace our shadow side. We do keep it hidden from the world. But again, this has been given to us by other people. You don't just wake up one day and decide you're a certain kind of person and hide it from the world. You don't do that. Somebody has said something to you. Somebody has shown you something. You know, your magnificence is not on the outside here. You've hidden it away from the world. So you've kept yourself in this darkness here, which is showing up in the Eight of Cups. Okay, and then we have the Hierophant. Now, I'm loving this because of the energy you're getting through here with the major arcanas. The Hierophant talks about stability. It talks about tradition. And I feel like this card is saying to you that a lot of the stuff you've kept hidden inside as part of your upbringing, part of yourself in this world, but there is also a lot of stuff here that you've brought through from past lives, and I see that in the emotions. So there's a lot of stuff here that needs to be healed that doesn't belong to you. So what you're trying to free yourself from in that karma is the past life stuff. What you're freeing yourself in this lifetime is the stuff you've adapted to that karma. So for example, if you lived as a nun or a priest in a past life, and you lived by a vow of chastity, and now, you know, perhaps intimacy with somebody is very, very difficult. But you've adapted your life on that, and it didn't really belong to you. Or you could have been poor, you could have been homeless, but now you find it really hard to accrue wealth because you've brought that through from a past life with you. So whatever it is, it's like you're eternally punishing yourself for something that happened long before you came to the earth, or even in your early years. All right, so we have the Knight of Wands coming through with the Eight of Pentacles. There is a real strong feeling with the Nine of Cups. What a beautiful way to do this. It's just amazing. All right. So I feel like for any of you at the moment, if you are working on yourself and there is a part of yourself that you are discovering or that you are seeing for the first time, then you are being raised here to heal that. And I see you putting work into yourself. I see you using your passion and your drive to heal those things about yourself. Because the Nine of Cups says to me, with the Eight of Cups here, 1 cup, self-love. So that is really important to see. So if you tried to change the outside without changing the inside, you're going to find that very difficult. Because you can look extremely good on the outside as you are, but your inside is still needing work. You can look fantastic on the outside, but the inside still needs to be healed. So that will make you dissatisfied with everything because you still have the same beliefs that you had before, no matter what you change. The beliefs will still be the same. So I feel like here with the Nine of Cups, the answer here with the Eight of Cups coming through to the Nine of Cups with this Justice card is you need to take a look from the inside out. All right, let's have a quick look at this and we'll just wrap it up and pull an oracle card. All right, so we have here the Ace of Swords, and this is what's telling you that something needs to change. You've got a new start coming in. I feel like you will be wiser after getting this new start. There is something taking you forward and showing you something here so that you can work on it. And I feel you are here with the Page of Swords. There's a lot of research you may be doing. You may be going for counselling, whether or not that's going to get you to where you need to be, because I feel that these wounds are deeply spiritual, and psychology sort of addresses the more logical, I don't even know how to explain it, book-wise stuff, really. It's easy to talk about, and that's great. You might want to talk to get stuff out into the open, and that may help you to raise your inner wounds, but if not, you're going to have to still do the internal work. All right, so we have the Ace of Wands coming through, so I see you bringing back your passion, leaving the world behind, and we have the beautiful Temperance card coming through here. And behind that, I have the Nine of Wands. So you're definitely healing these parts of yourself that you have constantly cycled. Constantly cycled. Whatever this is, you've gone round and round with it. Round and round and round and round. You've seen it, and then you've gone round. So you've tried to address it, but then you've gone around again. And that's what's been happening. You've just been doing that same cycle over and over again. All right, let's pull a Starseed Oracle here. Very deep reading today, but I think that this is because we've had so much of this coming up with people around us healing things. And I know some of you will relate to this because you've already spoken to me about it this week. Oh, okay, this is beautiful. This is the card of weight. Let's bring you back up. Ooh, I'll talk to your faces again. Oh, my camera's still wocky. I bought a new stand and it's not just for temporary to take with me when I travel, and it's not quite as sturdy as the old one. What I have here is the card of weight. And the universe saying it's not time yet, things are being woven. So I feel that that is going to give us a little bit more in depth here. In our fast, loud, reactive, comparative world, where an instant response is so often expected and at times even a currency, it can feel almost impossible to take a breath, let alone give ourselves the space to rest, wait, and reset. We're so often in overdrive, expecting instantaneous results over and over again. And when guidance doesn't come at these extreme speeds, it can feel as though something has gone wrong. But often, not receiving guidance is guidance in itself. When you ask for guidance and don't receive it, it can often mean wait, it's not time yet. That's what I always say when you feel stuck. The details are being woven. Our challenge is to keep trusting when on the surface it appears that nothing is happening. To remember that no matter how long or bitter the winter, spring does always come. To remember that you don't need to solve all of the world's problems in a single day, and that perhaps they'll be better solved with some perspective and a good night's sleep. This card is your permission to slip, to slow down, switch off and rest. You are being reminded to have patience and to trust the mystery of life, to trust that things are being woven on your behalf. It may not be happening at the timeline you'd like, but if you gather up the patience, it will be orchestrated better than you can ever imagine. So I feel like whatever this is moving us forward here, whatever this is in the collective, is going to open us all up to something so much better than we've experienced before. Have a wonderful day.